I'm back again here for some more amazing digital circus. I know. Shocking. I actually did what I said I was going to do. It's alright. I really enjoyed the first two episodes. I'm excited to watch the next two. I hope they are as good, if not better, which, based on some of the stuff I've seen, I think is a pretty good, guess. Sorry, my brain just, died there for a second. But no, I don't even really know what to expect going into this. I, don't think I can predict at all the kind of stuff I can expect to see episode to episode, especially given how shocked I was in the first two, which I really shouldn't have been in hindsight. A lot of the stuff that happened was pretty par for the course, but it still was done rather effectively, so I'm excited to see if they can keep that up, and I'm curious to see what more story beats unfold. So without further ado, I'm gonna hop right in.
Alright, here I go.
Alright, we've entered the blue zone.
So, is she just, really bad at holding her breath? I'm sorry, but that was, 2 seconds before she started turning oxygen-deprived blue. I would say you want to get that checked out, but, it may be a smidge too late for that. Who can hold their breath for as long as it took for her to turn blue? This is an interesting bit, I guess. I'm curious to see what the point of this is, or if this is just supposed to be a bonding moment. Anyways.
For instance, Kinger starts glowing, Ragatha's hair noodles stick up, Gangle's mask starts spinning, and Zubul turns straight.
My limbs straighten.
That was a good joke. I'm also gonna point it out. I'm gonna make this a damn bit, and you're not gonna tell me otherwise. Nice to see the comedy mask back from Gangle there. I finally learned the name. I'm probably still gonna call her Fruit by the Foot, though. Even though I know it's Gangle, just because I like Fruit by the Foot. And she really looks like Fruit by the Foot. I don't know why, but that's what I associate her with.
And for the first time ever, you can... Where's Zubul? I made this adventure...
I've said it once, I'll say it again. Get your goddamn eyes out my face. I don't want to see them that close. I don't like that they clipped through his teeth. That was weird. Keep them out of my view. Please.
Oh, this place is spooky. I wonder how hard Kane's gonna go with the scare factor.
I hope this adventure doesn't end up being another horrible nightmare.
I have a prediction. This is going to turn into a horrible nightmare, and Kane is a sadistic bastard who takes revel in their utter horror. Who could have seen that coming? Again with the eyes! Keep your eyes out of my face! Also, what in the creepy pasta was that? Hold on. You're not scary, but I don't like the teeth. That just, it brings back those old creepypasta days, which is probably the point. But, also get them out my face. Oh. I appreciate you immediately getting them out my face. See, this is what I'm looking for. Oh, shut up.
Not sure. Let's try this out.
God, the fucking mask again. I should probably stop bringing this up. Is this gonna get old? I know it's gonna happen every episode. I'm bringing it up every time. Sue me.
Don't worry, Gangle, I'll get it for you.
Kinger. Bye, Pomni. Ew! Ew! Ew!
Oh, that's the scary door.
Zubul, I just want to get to the bottom of why you keep skipping all my amazing adventures. You could end up really hurting Bubbles' feelings.
Bubbles.
Bubbles feelings?
It's not about Bubbles' feelings.
Where are we?
Why? 'Cause, that not like just the Momo creepypasta fucking thing? But not. I don't like it. Also, I gotta say, we'll probably hold on. I want to see.
Oh, that's... no.
Does that not look almost exactly like the prototype from Poppy? I mean, obviously, like the mouth thing's off, but that's like exactly what the prototype looks like. Just saying. I'm sure I'm not the only one to have pointed that out, but just saying.
The creature you see before you is one I've been pursuing for years. Not quite a man, but not quite an animal.
Well, okay. Listen, the Amazing Digital Circus. Listen, we need to have a talk here. I really enjoyed you. For the first two, you know, there was a little bits of like, oh wow, that's, you know, whatever horror. Like, nothing horror, really. What is this? What, pray tell, am I looking at with my peepers right now? Why have you subjected me to such heinous horrors? Get it out my face.
Something unholy.
No shit.
Evil. I took it upon myself to spend every waking moment doing all I could to protect my family from the creature, hoping that when I'd eventually killed it, I would be freed from this awful feeling.
And so you thought you'd put it in your home for you to see every day? Well, this looks like as if someone took Voldemort's face and applied the smear tool to it. Get it off my screen.
Although I had shot the creature multiple times in its vitals and severed its head to keep as a prize on my wall.
Nope. Nope. Reaction canceled. I'm done. Nope. Fuck no. Fuck no. I'm not doing it. You can't make me. There is in no world a single way that you can make me keep watching this damn shit.
Gotcha. I think I got him. I can't see my hands.
Nope. Back Devil Spawn, what the fuck? Why are those 3D animated? I didn't need that in my life. God, I'm gonna have fucking nightmares now. Thanks, the Amazing Digital Circus. I appreciate it! I don't wanna hit the button. I don't wanna. Why am I watching this at night alone in the house? Okay. You know what? It is like 100% less scary now that it kind of just looks like the Rush from Doors. Why am I just making like game references this episode? But that's what it looks like and kind of what it sounds like, if I'm being honest. I'm immediately way less scared now that it's got effects on it. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Do not use my adventures to torture my guests. Any torment I inflict is 100% accidental, like
No,
any
it's not.
good war criminal.
We weren't even.
That's a good joke.
It's me, remember? I don't like myself. I hate this body. I hate all these stupid removable pieces. I just want to find something that feels good.
Oh, yeah, now I remember why I couldn't remember. It's because that problem is already solved. Simply swap out your undesirable Zooble parts for better ones.
I've been
I don't have any jokes for that. I immediately like Zooble way more.
trying to find parts I like since the day I got here.
So, back to the adventures.
Forget it.
Forget it.
Just forget it.
Forget what?
Kane, nobody likes your stupid adventures.
Ha ha! Good one, Zooble.
Ragatha's just too nice to say anything. Jax just likes to fight with everybody. Gangle's too shy to speak up. Kinger's insane. And Pomni, she looks traumatized every time she comes back from one.
Oh, Zooble. Making adventures
Ew.
is my art. It's all I exist to do, all I'm good at. And, what you're saying.
Oh, interesting. They have to play their cards right for this to work. I think I heard something. I'm not going to say it, but I think I heard something about this story that would make me like this a lot more. If they do it right, I hate that this is coming up now. It's a little too close to home.
Could imply that I'm bad at the only thing I'm good at, and that... that'd be...
Whose therapy session is this again?
Oh yeah! We need to get to the bottom of your behavioral issues!
Please don't come alive.
Okay, I won't. Which is what I would be saying if I didn't know that the creature was actually one of God's angels.
What?
And anyone who brings harm to it will be dragged down into the cold, spiraling pits of hell where my soul resides. I apologize, dear listener, but I need a...
Again with the eyes! I do like the biblically accurate frickin' angel thing going on now, but okay.
living...
Of course I'd be in hell. How could I not be in literal hell right now?
Just try to stay calm. I'm sure Kane included a way to escape.
Oddly lucid for Kinger.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Let me try something. Hey, there's actually a staircase down there. It could be a way out. Maybe it'll work for us since we still have our bodies? Though I'm worried about what that tape said earlier.
I'm just gonna try going.
I am a little confused. The only glimpse we've seen of him with any sort of, like, reasonable cognitive function was when he had the bucket on. And now all of a sudden he's, like, smart? And, like, being thoughtful and considerate and very, very careful of the situation going on around them. I am curious to see if there's a specific reason for that, or if it was just a writing decision to not make him get as tiring, considering he's one of the main focuses of this story since he's with Pomni. I'm curious to see.
Fast. Why have you been acting so different lately?
Okay, they noticed it too.
I have, haven't I? I'm normally not too good with memories. But being surrounded by darkness always brings me back to a certain time.
So that's why the bucket, works for him. Okay, I see.
Right after my wife had abstracted. I don't recall the exact string of events, but we both ended up in the fort together. And it was dark. The darkness seemed to calm her down a bit. The harsh, jagged edges smoothed out, and she didn't seem aggravated anymore. She wasn't the same as before, but she was calm enough to touch one last time before she got sent to the cellar. I'm always taken back to that moment when engulfed in darkness.
You had a wife? Like,
So the abstractions are still sentient and they're calmed by the darkness. Interesting. I'd say maybe it has something to do with stimulation, but considering like he touched her, obviously it wasn't that. Interesting. Is that why Kane keeps him in that like dark room to try and like keep what's left of them in the best condition he can? This is way more complicated than I thought the story was going to get. And maybe it turns out that this isn't resolved, it's nothing, it's whatever. I don't think that. This team has already garnered a lot of trust with me. It's only been 2 episodes. They still have time to ruin it. But everything that's been done has been handled very cleverly and very maturely. And I am very excited to see where this goes.
If we leave and we go back to the circus, you're just gonna go back to being crazy. You're not gonna remember any of this, are you?
Don't worry about me. As long as you remember it, things will be okay. You're very strong, Pomni. And I know you'll be able to get through this. Just hold on to me. We'll get through it together.
No. I don't want to see him go back. Damn it. I have a very strong tendency when it comes to watching these shows, especially ones that I am really enjoying, to get very, very emotionally connected to the events going on in shows and the characters in them. Anytime I'm deep into something, I feel like I am not there with them, but emotionally I am there with them. If that makes any kind of sense. I don't know how to word it, but it's like, I don't want to, I'm an empath, but like, I do often feel what the people around me tend to feel a lot more, which is really hard sometimes, and that really, really translates into shows. I am very good at putting myself into this world, into these situations mentally, and I get so connected to characters, and I can't stand to see them upset or hurt. And it happens very, very easily, even in stuff where like there is a bad person. If they can show that they have redeeming qualities, that part of what's making them a bad person isn't inherently 100% under their control. Yes, people can change. Yes, people have choices. But the way you were raised and the things you had to go through really do affect you. And so when I can see that in a character, I immediately can really attach to how they're feeling and really, really want them to get out the other side. It becomes super important to me that they come out the other side okay. And gosh, so far this show has really, really played on that. Like, I'm tearing up right now just thinking of Kinger losing this sense of lucidness. And I no part of this is stemming from a certain situation I've had to deal with. I'm not going to get into it, but this is actually proving to be a really hard watch for me.
Okay.
Welcome back, my meowing milkmaids.
Ew.
Don't ever call us that again.
I agree. Damn. I'm sure I showed it, especially, I'm definitely leaving that really long rant that I put in. This one hit me so much harder than last episode did. I know I didn't, like, react as big and bombastically as I did when it came to Gooby Goo or whatever, like, coming to terms with his not reality. But that's because this, it just hit so much harder, so much closer to home that I didn't want to ruin it by putting on the act. That, I don't know, it felt so important to me to just kind of sit here and take it in and not make it a big spectacle. And I know I already said that this team has a lot of respect and trust from me, but that just like skyrocketed so much. Like immensely. I need a minute, man. That was good. I really liked the horror aspects. They kind of started to wane off on me, but it started off very strong. And the horror wasn't the main point. So it does work that they very quickly switched it. And that was a very strong and well-written emotional beat. I am excited to see where it goes from here.
I actually didn't mean to do that.
I actually believe him. The goddamn comedy mask! They spent no time immediately making Fruit by the Foot miserable. Stop it!
Are you all right?
Of course, of course. I'm already getting tons of ideas. That was weird.
Well,
I'm sorry?
Sure. Of course, of course. I'm already getting tons of ideas.
So they're connected? I mean, I know, like, Bubble kept coming out of his hat and whatnot, and it was always, like, obviously they're connected, but, like, physically? Why can they do that? What's the purpose of that? That seems so nonsensical for no reason, and I can like how you can see where where the tongue model ends. Oh, anyways.
One stupid burger.
Heard you loud and clear.
Oh no, fucking. What's in the stupid sauce? I don't want to see Ragatha go on some crazy ass trip. This wasn't on my bingo card. I don't want to see this. Okay. Again with the teeth. Get them out.
Huh? Oh, she's flirting with the gummy guy. 'Cause she'd rather be with an NPC than with us or something.
Well, that won't do.
I wish someone would flirt with me.
How old are you? I'm down.
Do all the Gloinks have names?
Of course they do. I love and cherish every Gloink I give birth to. What kind of mother do you think I am?
You know, I know she was the Gloink Queen. And that, you know, the Gloinks are hers. I didn't need the specification that she gave birth to them. That was also not on my bingo card. Because I didn't want to know.
It's beautiful.
It is pretty beautiful. I do agree.
Hi, welcome to Spudsy.
How did Gangle do this? Like, did Kane just, like, give Gangle godlike powers because she's the man? You know what? That actually kind of checks out. At least, yeah, never mind.
In this video, you're gonna learn the ins and outs of what makes you a good crew member and a valuable asset to the Spudsies Corporation.
When did you make
Bullshit.
this?
Now,
we need to start assembling these. I'm running out of room here.
I made like 5 or 6 of them.
Cool, that's 6 out of 300.
Ugh, you are such a grouch. Why are you always being a grunch?
I don't like Stoner Ragatha. Just saying. I just don't like it. Think I would have liked it more if it would like Zooble or Jax having this. I don't know. I don't like seeing Ragatha this like out of her mind. Not a big fan.
Well, maybe.
Anyway, we can't spend all night out here talking about our feelings.
Oh, no. Can you... Hey, the Amazing Digital Circus. Can we stop? Can we just make something not relatable? For once. Because, this episode is only finally what clicked in my head. The whole point around Gangle's problems. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I am thinking a thought. I know. Dangerous. Why? So, Gangle is the comedy sad acting mask. Right. And obviously, it seems the whole issue is the problem between putting on a facade for others while letting yourself slowly degrade and wither away from the inside, which is a very relatable issue, but that's not the point I'm trying to make here. And is characterized by having this mask. And honestly, that makes me a little bit more upset about the comedy mask always breaking, because it is very much a forcing of someone out of their comfort zone, which is sometimes what you need. And I am wondering if I was right about Jax purposefully breaking it every time. And I wonder if it's more of a kindness than he's letting on, and that he's trying to help Gangle out by forcing her to come to terms with who she actually is instead of what she wants other people to see. And that could even, like, the whole point of the design specifically is also reflected in Zooble, who doesn't like the parts of themselves and wants something that feels right and feels true to them. And given the fact that Zooble is they, them, I assume connects into issues they had in real life. But, like, if that's what they're doing, what does Jax being a purple bunny in overalls have to do with whatever problems he's having? Or Ragatha being a... Actually, I could see that one. Because those kinds of dolls are meant to be played with by kids and bring other people joy even at the detriment of their own integrity, which is a lot of toys. You know, they degrade the more you use them, but the more you use them, the more they're loved. And so her being a thing that is characterized, or her being someone who is characterized by always wanting to help other people and make them all feel better, while being an object that does that very thing while sacrificing bits of itself and its own lifespan. I wonder if that is going to come into play there. But then, again, how does Jax fit into that? How does Pomni fit into that? And how does Kinger fit into that? I don't know yet. Especially since, at least in Kinger's point of view, the only things we've gotten about his past is while he was in the circus. I mean, we got the fact that he's a computer science major. So maybe we'll come back for it. But, like, how does that match up with him being a chess piece? I am curious. I didn't like this episode quite as much as the last one. That being said, it was still fun to watch. I still had a good time. I didn't like seeing Pomni, like, kind of freak out over Gummy Goo, nor how, like, quickly that kind of resolved. I know that wasn't the focus of the episode, and it was interesting seeing characters come back. I didn't think that would happen so soon. I know I made the joke earlier that, oh, I can't care about the manager character. I was obviously being a bit sarcastic. I know a lot of people would automatically kind of write off a lot of the problems that Gangle was having because she was in a position of power and was trying to force everyone into this corporate mold. But in the end, managers are still people. Obviously, there are a lot that are horrible pieces of shit and really like to lord their power over everyone else and don't actually take anything into consideration other than their own benefits. That being said, that is not everybody. And regardless of if that's how they are or not, they are still people. They're still going through their own stuff. And so obviously, yes, I did feel a lot of sympathy towards what Gangle was going through. And when you really buckle down and think about it, at least in this specific instance, yes, Gangle went way over the top and let the power go a little bit to her head. But in the end, managers are in charge of making sure everything is working smoothly. And so obviously she needed to try and make sure that things were happening smoothly. And even as we saw in the end with Kane, she had someone to answer to. Most managers do. They aren't making a lot of these decisions because they want to. Again, this isn't everybody, but I don't think I need to explain that. Hopefully, anyone who watches this has enough emotional maturity to realize that. But in the end, Kane even got on the other employees and rated them for their work. And so not only was Gangle... I mean, I don't think this is actually what was going on. We're going to kind of turn away from this and just speak in a more broader sense. But some managers, especially the good ones, not only are they trying to work towards making sure that the store runs as efficiently as possible in order to assure that everyone can do what they need to do, get the money they need to get, and not have any problems. But in the top end, those people are being watched too. And if the manager can ensure that the people are doing what they need to do, they can have a better experience. They can be more left alone, and they aren't the ones under fire. And so there is a really tight line to walk. And while not all of that was necessarily the point with this specific episode, it was nice to see it touched on a little bit. And especially we like Gangle as a character, so we can be a bit more sympathetic. Well, at least I like Gangle as a character. And I think making Gangle the manager and having her work through this as the character that needs the mask to hide her underlying self made it work better than if they were to pick literally anybody else. And I think, again, this was handled with a lot of maturity and done pretty well. Obviously, someone in this team, or multiple people in this team, have dealt with these kind of jobs and know what it's like. I really liked that Ragatha was the one stoner coworker that somehow did nothing but never got in trouble. That was pretty funny to me. I still didn't like seeing her like that. I don't know why. It just really felt icky, especially since, unlike stoner coworkers, she didn't do this to herself on purpose. She just got spritzed in the eye with some stupid whack ass sauce and was endangered by a decision the company had made. That really put a pit in my stomach. But in terms of the vibe, obviously someone has been through that and has a lot of experience with with that environment. And I think it was really well done. And in the end, that moment with Gangle, when she took off her mask and smiled, and it kind of seemed like she was accepting who she was, it was a nice moment. It felt a little out of nowhere, and I know that's where the episode was going. Part of me kind of would have liked it if they kind of just didn't do that resolution there and saved it. And I guess it wasn't necessarily a resolution. They said that she cracked under the pressure, and it was definitely a little insane, and then fell into traffic. I don't know, that little bit with Gangle there at the end worked. Something felt a little off. I don't know. Maybe it's just some disconnect I had, maybe it worked really well for other people. It's not my place to talk for everyone else, and I'm not saying it was done poorly. It just, I don't know. So it didn't really hit with me like I felt it should have. It just seemed a little weird. And then, like, having it come around, oh, Zubul bringing her back in, that was cute. They didn't, I'd have to think back. They didn't properly, like, set up Zubul and Gangle's relationship before this. I don't think. Because, like, in the first episode, yeah, Gangle went with Kinger to go get Zubul back, but Zubul kind of, like, didn't really do anything. And then they went up the escalator. In the second episode, Gangle was really interacting a lot more with Jax, because they were both in the front seat of that truck. And then it was, like, Zubul wasn't even there. Gangle wasn't even really in the third episode at all. And so it kind of felt like it came a little bit out of nowhere, but I'm not upset about it, and it doesn't, like, I'm not saying it's bad writing yet, mainly just because Zubul has not been a part of the group really yet. They have been staying back and not coming on the adventures. So this is something that, like, seeing this now, we know these characters have been together. We know they've grown bonds themselves off screen before the beginning of this series. So them going, hey, Zubul and Gangle are actually, like, pretty close friends, doesn't necessarily feel like an ass pull or like it came out of nowhere, because obviously this is just them going, hey, this has actually been the case the whole time. It was just not come up yet, and that's fine. I don't mind that at all. It just was a little weird to have that be the kind of resolution of the episode, just because I feel like I don't care quite as much about their relationship yet, just because I haven't really got to see it. And that segment where Zubul's like, hey, Ragatha needs a ride home, and then Gangle, like, freaking out, and then her going, no, I was just going to stay and do it, was also a little weird, just because, like, I don't know, like, Zubul could have just not said anything, and it would have been just fine. I don't know, there were just a couple of different moments in this episode that just didn't click for some reason. Could just be me. I would say, like, this one has definitely been my least favorite episode. By quite a large margin. So far, I would say it's 4, 1, 2, 3 in terms of my order of which ones I like. But I'm curious to see where they take it from here. I know I am pretty rapidly approaching the end of what's out currently, which is a little sad, but I'm excited to see where else this goes. Hopefully, whoever is watching enjoyed watching. And thanks again. I will see you guys next time.